Zero. Hello, everybody. We are back again at the Global Party 2017 Healing from the Inside Out. And I am connecting all the way with Flora Rudolph, who is in Oregon, connecting with the trees. Tree Love Connect.
Hi. So I am in this beautiful, it's gorgeous today. It's like the early fall, gorgeous day. And I found, I was called to sit under this little enclave of mimosa trees.
Right.
And that's unusual for me. I'm not usually drawn to them so much.
Right.
They're like kind of just a light, gay tree that brings, you'd bring a picnic here and maybe have a party. Maybe you would do a little drawing, whatever. It's that kind of tree. It's a real lighthearted, happy, playful tree. So here I am. And for all of you who aren't here, let's start by taking some really deep breaths.
Okay.
Our energy and get here. Now get to your place. So breathe deeply and just let go of anything that isn't this for a few moments. And allow yourself to enter that big, beautiful, still space in the depth of your being. The place where all of this joy and love and peace resides all the time. The place where you have all your knowing. So just breathe here. Stamp your feet a few times if you need to get your energies flowing. Shake it off, whatever it is. And if you are in a tree, with a tree right now, that's spectacular. If you're not, it's great. Just imagine a place where you love to go, a trail, a forest, a grove of trees, a park, or a place you just would love to go that you've never been. And find yourself here amidst these glorious, vibrant trees that you have created for this day. And begin to breathe in their energies. Take in the flow of their movement. The scent is usually so empowering and overwhelming that brings you immediately to this place, to the forest, to the tree. And then you start to notice all the branches and how gorgeous they are, how the design and the lines and the vibrancy and just the abundance that they put out all the time. As they are connected, as they are rooted, as they are doing all of this work on the planet, cleaning up our air, cleaning up our energy fields, nurturing us, providing us these deep connections with earth, with trees, with all life form, therefore with ourselves. So be here now with these energy flows. My talk is here because 10 years ago, I began visiting a very sacred group of trees just north of Portland called the Columbia River Gorge. It's sacred to everyone who lives here or who has visited. And on those visits, I was initiated by the trees. I had no concept of what happened. I didn't know it was out there to come into me. I didn't know it was out there for anybody. Trees had just been trees before. And I was transported into this world that has become my passion. It has become my home. It's become my just love. I love it. There's just such variety and such life and vitality, presence, every moment, instant, being with these trees. And in this gorge, I received these tree initiations one by one. And I knew that was happening, but it was also just like, what in the world? But I was compelled, I just had to get there as much as possible during that time. And then now, for the last 3 weeks, this sacred spot has been burning. in a forest fire. And it's very challenging for all of us who love that place so much. There's so much energy going out from us to help, to fix, to remedy, to stop it. And it seems that what we have most to offer, besides if you're not here on the ground, is to really ask the winds to calm, the rains to come, and the fires to subside, and save the sacred place for all of us so that we can rebuild it, re-enjoy it very soon. In line with that, I have just finished last night, my website.
Yay!
Yeah, it's called Tree Love Connect, single tree, treeloveconnect.com. And on it, I'm so excited to have this out there. It's not, I don't have all the bells and whistles yet, but it's enough. And on it is an offer for a free day retreat, a mini retreat. You just sign up for and can begin to this path of entering into the world that I'm enjoying itself, because it's just such a replenishment. It's an instant joy. And anyway, so I'm offering that. And also I have put together a tree initiation course, which is exactly what I was given. It's the pathway I was given by the trees from the gorge that brought me to where I am with this love that I have. So I'm very excited about all that, and I hope you'll check it out. There's so much to say. I've been like, what do I say? There's so many things to say. There's so much connection to talk about and transformation that happens just by doing this, by being and loving these trees. When you tune in to a tree and really take in the energy, you're in a different state, just like that. And it's a state of just such lighthearted simplicity and joy. And I keep saying the same words over and over, Jacqueline. Do you have anything?
Words that are being used now universally, and it is a theme that's been going through all of today, that it's time to be lighthearted, joyful, and present. And that's the idea, is this childlike essence that we know of, that we've seen and we've experienced. That is what needs to happen now. And if you're coming into an alignment with it, however it is with the trees or anything else, that's what needs to happen. And for you, like, I can see the leaves in the background. That's exactly it. Like, each tree has a different energy. So what is your favorite tree?
Of the day?
Like, yeah, exactly. Well, there you go. See, so you're like, oh, I've got so many friends today. It's this particular tree. But so, do you have one that's kind of maybe a favorite?
I have two that are like my trees. Okay, and then there's so many others that are so close to being my trees. Oddly, the hornbeam trees, who I'd never heard of before, but they are my home base. They are my heart.
Right.
They are solid support, and they are mischievous and fun, and the energy is just spectacular. I love to sit in the grove of them. I think they really like community. And so I greet them all individually when I go there, but then I just sit in the middle and just take it in, and I just laugh and I cry when I have to go home. It's so profound for me. That may not be your tree,
right?
Of your home-based tree, but it's so exciting to find it. And I stumbled into this. I had no idea. I'd never heard of a hornbeam. And the other is the Chinese white pine, which is always there for guidance and wisdom and earthy connection. And you are here on this planet. This is the way things are. You love people. You give it out. And it's always got little pieces of wisdom that pour through me when I'm connecting with that tree energy. I'm not saying the tree talks to me. That's kind of, I don't know. But I'm saying that the energy comes through me in these revelations when I connect with the tree.
Well, okay, so let's go with that, because it is all energy. So is it, I don't know if you ever saw that, but HR Puffin stuff, movie show, TV show, and there were faces in the trees. So do you see kind of like the bark and a facial structure, or is it just a feeling thing? Because like I'm a feeling thing. I don't necessarily see things, but I feel it. So do you just feel the essence of the tree?
So okay, so here's my deal with that. I bet I could skip off into that little place where I saw faces, but I think that would be my projection.
Okay.
And I don't need that.
Right.
The tree is its own alive being.
Yeah.
That as this beautiful energy source for me. Other people, whatever. And it's just the feeling, the smell, the invitation, the energy field that is so different than mine. And that I get to meet this new being. And I get to meet a being without ego.
Right.
Which trains me to meet other beings without ego, like people, and it just, the connection with Earth is our home.
Yeah.
We are of Earth, you know, we have minds that go off and do things, but we are of Earth, and we are certainly needing connection on every level right now. It's obvious. There's just an enormous transition in place. And this is so immediate. I mean, you can go meet a tree in your backyard if you have a yard, on the street corner if you're urban. Yesterday, I was in a park. I live in Portland, so I'm urban. And I was in a park with these glorious elms. And I just was with them for, a couple hours, I think. And it was a park when kids were playing and all this. And pretty soon you just don't worry that people are looking at you. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't even notice that anymore. You just do what you do and they do what they do. So there's so many opportunities to just feel this energy and this joy and the spectacular variety and form. Like I'm very visual. Was a painter. So when I stop and I notice the lines of the tree trunks and the limbs, it blows me away. I mean, what spectacular drawing and creation, sculpture. So there's so many ways to view it.
Well, do they ever, or have you ever experienced them, because you did already say they don't have ego, so there's no projection from them to say, you humans have really screwed up the planet.
No.
There's none of that. They just have this effervescent, loving quality that just energizes you, and they're just doing it all the time. So what's our problem?
Well, there's also the hard worker trees.
Okay.
And I've met a couple fir trees that just considered us as a little bit of annoying energies, sort of like ants.
Okay.
Okay. And I love it. It's like, I see this. Because they're busy. They are so hardworking on this planet, keeping it together, doing their tree job. Right? And there are other trees like this mimosa, which is almost like a playful, childlike, energy. Or the birch trees are like that as well. And the dawn redwoods. They're just like, hey, let's have some joy. I'm happy to see you. So there's a whole energy, a whole realm of I don't know what you call it. Energy fields is what I call it. But there's no ego. There's no you're bad, we're good. None of that. It's just fabulous.
Right.
And I believe, there's no way to know truthfully why everything's happening the way it is right now. Brains want to. I know that when I had my accident, I tried so desperately to find a cause for it. Just desperate. Like, is this my karma? Was, terrible bad driver on the other guy? Was it punishment? Is it a redirection by life? Is this my journey? Or am I just a bad driver? And it's it all came to who knows?
Right.
You could, again, projection, I think, and trying to sort it when there's maybe not sortable. It is. So right now, I do believe that the earth is doing what it's doing for balance. I mean, I think that's what it does, with or without us.
Well, it was interesting because Martha Clark was on earlier this talking about planetary energies of the equinox, right? And the way she described it, right? It's like exactly, you know, what so much of us are going through. So again, sometimes I look out and I go, well, I see the world like this. Like I see the world as great and awesome, but I know other people don't. So right. I just go, I'm just in a different world. Because I'm in this world. And I think everybody gets to choose which world they really want to be in. And to experience the trees the way you experience it, it's kind of like, I don't know, it feels so, it's like utopia, Garden of Eden, you know, sort of this whole transcendental experience with nature, because you're experiencing the energies in something that most people have no concept that the tree is doing anything other than being a tree.
Right. Yeah. And I was there. I was with that understanding for, you know, most of my life. My childhood, I was with the trees. And then the big skip of all growing up in adulthood, I wasn't. So you're right. Yeah. I guess my message is give it a try. It is so amazing. It's so easy to just connect to this. Connect with your own self, and that I am what I can't. I hope I have enough of a lifetime left to really get the full transformation that's offered here, because the depth is endless, and the connection, what this can do, you know, to transform you. And I think after he did everything else. Fasted, austerities, the whole bit, studied, he just sat under a tree until he got it.
Right.
And took in that tree energy for assistance. I mean, I think that's huge.
Yes. Yeah. No, I just know for myself, when I go into a forest, there's certain trees that I just kind of am drawn to, and I've come to sometimes I just sort of look at them and it's kind of like, can I give you a hug? You know, it's more like, not like, can I give you a hug to make you feel better? Like, it's like, am I allowed to give you a hug? Because like, I can just sense you, and I just want.
Exactly.
You know, I want that energy. Okay. You know, are you willing to share it with me? And it's always like, yeah, come on in, you know?
Yeah. 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 That's it.
No. And, well, so guiding people on a tree initiation course, right? You can do this. You're going to do this online, right? It's not like we have to be in Portland.
No, but you could be in Portland, and that would be cool. And we could do a guided retreat. But yes, it's an online course. It's a 5-week. There's a little kit to take with you, you know. First, some ground rules about how to prepare to go, just some basic, essential, practical stuff. And so it goes well. And then a couple of recordings, meditations to help you get in space and how to just go about it. And some writing. And then you should record your comments somehow. You'll love it if you do, because they kind of fade back like a dream.
Yeah.
So record them on your phone or in a journal. And then I really would love to hear and discuss with you what happened, and love it. So that's every week. And every week it goes to a different level and a different part of this initiation.
That's awesome. And that's at treeloveconnect.com. treeloveconnect.com. Yes.
It doesn't quite look great on your phone right now because I got to make those fixes in the computer, but it looks pretty good on the computer.
Well, you know, that's the whole thing about everything being a work in process, and the word journey keeps coming up a lot too, is that it's the journey. This idea that these ideas of systems and structures, that things have to look a certain way, I think that's all outdated, because we're all moving in different directions and we're all getting some pieces and some not. And
it's so amazing. Yeah.
And the fact that you're here to share trees with us is just totally awesome.
Thank you. And the work you're doing to pull all these little pieces together so people can see a bigger mosaic is fantastic.
It's really kind of cool how, like, as I said, conversations, there are definitely similar, similar words that are all being used in this awakening, this, even as I was saying to someone, although you and I are in the Northern Hemisphere, so it's coming into fall in that respect, I very much feel like everything's new. So I kind of feel like this is spring, like in the Southern Hemisphere. So I think that's a combination of everything just really tempted the last few days to hang upside down and see the world differently.
Perfectly. Perfect.
I don't know. Do you climb up in the trees?
Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes.
Trees like tree houses.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen those on National Geographic? I don't know. I just thought that those ones that are, I don't know if it's in South America, where they're like 200 feet high. They have tree houses and people live way up there.
No, but that sounds wild.
I was thinking that that's where you want to go and spend some time. You have to Google that.
I got to check it out because when I was a kid, like 5 or 6 years old even, I just lived in the very tops of the trees where they moved all the time, and I believed I could fly from limb to limb, and that I had all these different rooms in the trees. I had a willow at my grandmother's house and a walnut at my parents' house, and they were I just lived there until I had to come down. It's a miracle I'm alive because no one was out there, which was cool.
Yeah. It's a miracle that no one was around because you got to have some really great quality time that probably is why you're here now sharing with us versus people going, you can't go up there, you might fall, you might do this, and squish your whole experience.
Right.
Yeah. So what would you like, the one gem besides, there's a tree in your backyard, a tree in maybe not in your backyard, on your way to work. It might be a small one in New York City. What would you like them to notice 1, 2, 3 points or whatever on a tree?
Okay, so finding a singular urban tree and connecting with that is a little more advanced.
Okay.
But you can do it. Being in a forest where you have, the whole community is like, wow. Or in a grove of trees or a park. Those are a little bit easier entry points. Mm-hmm. But if you have one tree on your way, and I'm working on an urban tree series of work. Okay. So that's coming next. But first you want to stop. If it's calling to you, if this is a tree, like you notice it, right. And it's like something about it, and you just keep noticing it. It's calling you. Right. Okay, so you just go connect with it. You stand next to it, put your hands on it, put your forehead on it, mm-hmm. Say hello, and thank it for inviting you if you like. Whatever comes naturally to say. There's no formula. But right. Just take in the scent and take in the movement, just as if you were meeting like a new baby for the first time. And you're experiencing it's a whole fresh new being. Who is it? What does it look like? What does it smell like? What does it do? And how does it feel? That whole energy field. And that's where you want to start. And you'll have a relationship with that tree then. And even if you pass by quickly, I have several in Portland that I do. If I'm not able to stop and spend time, that I pass by and I just like touch them for a minute and say hello, And it's wonderful, and the energy is exchanged. And I'm a little bit more present because of it. So.
And in the presence is the gift.
The presence is a gift. That connection, what the presence is what is underneath that presence is this deep knowing that you are the same life force that's in that tree. Same. You, me, everything else. We are You understand the oneness connection in your body. You're going to be different from there on. It's a transformation that happens. And that's the beginnings of all of this transformation that can occur.
See, if you're a tree person, if you already know that you love trees or you feel good in the forest, this is a great way for you to step into trusting yourself and going on a journey to really be present versus having to just sit, meditating or doing something that maybe you think you're supposed to do, but you don't necessarily enjoy it. Follow your bliss and live in the trees with Flora.
Perfect. And just hang out on the roots. I've done that it's a bliss. You just, if you're lucky enough to find a tree next to like a stream, a little creek or something, just curl up on the roots. Yeah. Tune in, you can meditate there if you want to start out that way and then just be there.
I can feel it. It's coming right through you from Oregon, sweeping all the way across the States. That's a big, that's like 4 hours of time zones. So there you go. It's a long journey, that energy's coming, but I can feel it.
Good. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for being here with us and sharing Tree Love Connect. And I just encourage everybody to go check that out because really, everybody has a tree somewhere. Yeah. Or if you're lucky, you have trees. Like I have trees and I'm very fortunate. So if I'm in a tree mood, I go to the trees. If I'm in an ocean mood, I'm in the ocean, but it's like connecting with that essence. It's a whole other experience that I have yet to experience like Flora does. So she is your go-to girl.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I love you.
Love you.
Later.
Bye-bye.